Damn, Gary, some serious gourmet What flavor is this? That's right, it's the all-hell medium roast private blend. Check out the Geek Coffee Nerdrotic page for our other options like the Decadent, Feathers of Liberty, vanilla-infused flavored coffee. Or if you're looking for something darker, try the Dark Roast FNT blend of the Fellowship. You know what? Just buy all three. GeekGrindCoffee.com. Use discount code Nerdrotic.
Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome, travelers, to the fringes of reality, where the strange and mysterious meet, and the thin veil between fact and fiction is torn. Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier.
I should have been in this room for Friday Night Tights. Greetings, everyone. Hail. Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier. I am live in Palm Desert, California, where I have just returned from the CPAC conference, which is not the conservative one. It's the, what's it called again? Something Ancient Civilization.
It's in the title.
Knowledge or whatever.
Conference on Procession and Ancient Knowledge.
I came here to see our boy Graham, our boy Jimmy. I saw Ben, Hugh Newman, and Mike, the Wandering Wolf, met him. So that was cool. And it was a fun, it was actually a pretty good conference. It was. Nice. Yeah. Some very bisexual lighting going on in there. You saw, if somebody saw my picture with Jimmy on Twitter.
I did see it.
Oh, no.
I
feel like we need to see this.
That was the lighting in there.
It wasn't to represent California.
What's up, Tom from Midnight's Edge? How are you, buddy?
Oh, I see it.
You see it?
I'm going to share it for the chat.
Yeah. That's some bisexual lighting right there.
Wow.
It was dark. Okay, so see the bald-headed guy right behind Jimmy right there? That's the guy who streams with Randall all the time.
Oh, really?
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
And we got shushed by him.
Oh. Oh, my goodness.
I want to show you something here. I got this is like the one Graham Hancock book I don't own.
Oh, wow. Is that signed by the one and only? Shit.
So got to meet him. Oh, you finally
got to meet the man.
Got to meet him. Got Hamlet's Mill, which is the book he pushes all the time. That really gets into the ancient knowledge of progression, and a lot of this was about the progression of the Earth and the 26,000 or 2,600 the time cycle, the cycle that's based on 72.
26,000 year
26,000 year cycle. That's based on the number 72, which just shows up all the time, and it's a little crazy. It's a little crazy. But we'll get through our introductions, and I'll talk about, like, basically, I think I got a preview of Ancient Apocalypse Season 2. So this event, I think you can still like purchase the live stream, but there's no Graham. Graham did not, they didn't live stream Graham.
Yeah, I looked at the list. I was so upset about that.
It's still worth it to see Ben and Jimmy. Jimmy's presentation was brilliant. Ben's, my wife saw it. I had to work. Sorry, Ben. I'm gonna buy the stream and watch it myself. Okay. I'm gonna watch it. And I talked to Ben a lot. We're gonna have him back. So,
Yes.
well, what we're going to do is when we have like Jimmy and Ben and maybe others on, we're going to probably put it on the main channel for those interviews. So
Going big time.
going big
No,
time.
I know what this is. You just want to beat Dan Vask. That's what that's about.
Yes, I do. Yes.
And any help you
Yeah.
can get.
Have I ever made a secret about that? I mean, just
No, it's
because
true.
he's my gay friend doesn't mean I don't want to beat him. So
Wow, that is two things in a sentence I wouldn't imagine you saying. What?
but I just did.
A and
Phrasing.
beating.
Phrasing.
I know.
Phrasing.
Usually that's me.
Quarter Black Garrett is on 100% of an assignment right now.
Crazy.
Intense probing.
Yeah, Zorbu got
Zorbu.
Quarter Black.
He's being probed
He's
currently.
being Zorbooed. Quarter Black's working on a video right now. So there you go. Lots of work. Dude, I got so much work done. I got it's so hard. I got to go to the conferences, took all my notes, bought a bunch of books.
The collection of books looks so cool.
I'm over halfway through the MCU book, The Reign of the MCU. It's fascinating. Absolutely fascinating book. Most of the stuff I knew, but you do hear some tidbits of what?
Yeah.
Including Bob Iger educating himself on Marvel with a coffee table book, an outdated one at the time too. before he bought Marvel. It's really sad. So that if I'm done with the book by tonight, which is a possibility, then I'm going to do a live stream on the whole book tomorrow.
Oh.
So on the main channel. But we're here to talk about ancient civilizations, new discoveries. Dude, Hugh Newman, man, 30 minutes. That's all they gave him. The guy is so good. So good. So check out his books that you can buy. These little pocket books.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, they're so cute.
They are packed.
I want that one.
Packed with knowledge.
I want that one.
You want this one right here. We're going to go over a little bit of this
I probably
one.
want all of them. Who am I kidding?
Hugh
Because there's new
Newman.
info.
We should all
Hugh
read
Newman.
them.
Yeah, no, I want to get him on. He's legit. He's from Megalithomania. Legit dude.
Okay. He runs that site
Yeah.
or that Twitter.
Oh.
Him and
Okay.
Andrew Collins
Oh.
run that site. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right.
They're both
Nice.
like super legit. They're part of Graham's circle. Like Graham took him to Göbekli Tepe for the first time. And yeah, lots of interesting stuff. Hello, Adam Crigler.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good,
Good
man.
to be here.
Glad you
I
did.
went down that rabbit hole. You posted one image, or I don't remember what you
It
posted.
was a
about
video
the-
of Brian Forster.
Right.
Yeah.
Brian Forster and the DNA with the testing of the elongated skulls down in Peru. And boy, did I spent probably like 4 hours just kind of like watching videos. He's got a lot of videos on it, actually. That's kind of his thing, right? So I've watched a bunch of videos. There's like, they found a baby one that's also an elongated skull. That's really cool. There's like a video of them actually like unwrapping it. And I don't know. It's really cool. I believe it, actually. They really make a good case for elongated skulls being a thing.
They're
not
certainly
wrapped.
believable.
Do you believe it? Do you believe it?
Absolutely. I think there are some that is the cradle headboarding, but
Right.
there's also the ones without the suture. And
Right.
every head
Well,
has
and
one.
also things that we don't have. That there's like a certain bone in them that humans don't have. So like what?
And
what
eye
does that
sockets
mean?
are bigger, like way
And
bigger.
eye sockets are bigger. Yeah. So that was
and the
really
red
cool.
hair that's still attached to a lot of them.
Yeah. That's
that,
weird.
yeah.
The red hair.
So we'll talk about that, and very
I'm excited
interesting
about that.
discovery. And Ben, I talked to Ben, and he showed me on his phone the little pot that that they reproduced, but they had the real one, and they have other ones now. And he said there's a bunch of similarities in how they're made and how impossible these things are. And one thing, I must have missed it in one of his videos. I'd never seen it. He puts a flashlight inside one
Oh,
Cool.
and it lights up the whole bowl
Oh.
because it's not one stone. It's not as he says, homogeneous or homogeneous, as we ugly Americans say. It's like granite, but it has crystal in it. There's lots of material in that. So making those things as uniform as they are and as thin as they are we could do it, but why? It would cost so much money, and we could only do it recently. And these things are pre-dynastic. So he put a flashlight in it, and all the crystal parts lit up, and it was freaking insane. If I can find a video of that, I'll show you what it was. It was pretty effing cool. X-Ray Girl, hello.
Hello. I have just played Demonologist, and that game, I think Gary would be so fun to play with you. I'd love to see you get jump scared. Demonologist, it's like ghost hunting, but scarier than Phasmophobia.
Dude, I would, if I was the kind of person that got jump scared, I would happily be jump scared.
Not at all.
Were you with us at Horror Nights?
No.
Okay.
That's why. But in person, it's a little different. Like, I know they're fake at those like parks. And I think it's funny.
But playing a game makes it more
pixels.
real.
It does. Because I know they won't touch, like, in the park, they don't touch you.
The only game that like legit creeped me out was BioShock because of the 5.1 surround sound my friend was playing it on, and the sounds from that were just cool. Now, I've watched you guys play, and I've got surround sound in my office at home, and the sound's really good. Like, you hear little in the background and stuff. Little whispers. That's pretty good shit. I like that.
Build up. Yeah.
But it's still fake.
I know, but I still get scared. But
I'll tell you a scary story someday.
Ooh, well, I mean,
next week. Save it for next week. We're doing scary stories.
It's not supernatural. It's just scary.
Before we start, I just want to say we did post on Twitter. Next week, we're going to talk about some scary ghost stories, of course, that we've experienced. But I'm also taking emails, xraygirl2077@gmail.com, and we're going to read some audience scary stories live on stream. So submit them over there, and then hopefully we can pick and choose some of the scarier ones. And then, I've already have some submissions, so the more the better. The more the better. So.
Right on. I did live in a haunted house. I did.
Oh,
the San Francisco house was haunted by a cat.
Right.
Yep. By legit. Well, I'll save that story. I'll save that story for next week. So here we are at CPAC. It was like, it's a day and a half conference. It went all day. They had Jimmy go on at 8:30 in the morning. What the?
8:30 a.m.
Yeah. So Jimmy is a big draw, and they even introduced him like in the here's the, I can't pull it out, but the little pamphlet, like he's an up and coming voice in this field. It's like, I think he's here. I don't know. I wouldn't call Jimmy up and coming at this point. I think Jimmy has arrived. I mean, look at the size of his YouTube channel. He's been on multiple podcasts. He's been on Joe Rogan, and
multiple times.
Based as fuck, doesn't take any shit on Twitter, and I fucking love him, man. And he's a genuinely cool guy. And it was great to see him and meet him in person. But his talk today was great. He went a little bit into Atlantis in the middle, but towards the end, he more talked about like, forget, like your Atlantis theories or this theory about that. We need to talk about like what the fuck happened 12,000 years ago. That's the most important part. That echoes what Graham said too. It's like, you don't have like, what I learned is he and Robert Schoch don't talk anymore. Graham Hancock and Robert Schoch haven't talked since 2015, and Graham sounded like he really regretted it. And I think it's over their divergence on theories, right? Because Graham goes with the comet one, and Schoch has the plasma from the sun one, which are both believable, by the way. And he doesn't discount it, but maybe Schoch felt like betrayed that Graham sided with the other one. But the other one, despite how much I think like Schoch's theory is good, I think the comet theory is better. But the one thing,
hold on that note though, I want to say, like, I don't see how both couldn't have happened at the same time. Like,
that's been brought up by both of them.
You know what I mean? Like, they could both be correct. It could have been so traumatic because both things happened at once, right? The sun could have had its micronova and whipped some freaking crazy amount of plasma at our planet, and it just got bombarded, and we got hit by a meteor. Like, who's to say? I mean, sure, the chances are incredibly slim, but man, we're here. I feel chances of us being here is pretty slim.
Yeah, there's no gradualism that could explain the Younger Dryas beginning and end. Like the beginning and end are so extreme. It would have to be a super volcano, which there is zero sign of. Zero. Or that believe me, they would go with that. That's the thing they would go with is volcanic.
Yeah.
And there's so much evidence just spread out the northern hemisphere of the planet. And there's even stuff in the southern hemisphere. And there was all the animals dying out. But Graham went way into more into South America, right? Because that's what he's been for the last month, taking ayahuasca, and they're burning the rainforest there. And now we're getting all of these patterns, like squared circles. It's not a perfect square though. It's more like a rounded square, but there's a bunch of circles inside of rounded squares everywhere. And they think there's thousands of them, which
What are they?
tells you that the forest wasn't there. If they were able to do the earthworks, they couldn't have done them with trees there, which means it was cleared out in the quote unquote recent past, right? So as much as they're burning down the jungle, and I don't think they should burn down the jungle, they should leave it alone. Oxygen's good. But that wasn't always there, or people are way older. And he also got into the Aboriginal gene in the middle of the rainforest, which makes no sense because it dates back to like 16,000 years, which means somebody had to get on a boat from Australia and make it to South America. That's a long way. So he got into that and more into Karhan Tepe, which is getting weirder by the day. Cause like that Karhan Tepe is finding
stuff.
They keep finding stuff, including I mean, they both had to like kind of run through and kind of do a generalized thing. But my favorite thing that Jimmy and Graham both do is just show us the similarities of everything around the world.
Yeah.
And I'm glad more people are talking about the hands. So you have the T pillars of Göbekli Tepe, right? So if you there you go, the T pillars. But on these T pillars, they're anthropomorphic. These are men. So I'm starting to think they are men with elongated skulls. That's why we get the T on the top. And they have their hands right around their side, going around their belt, and they're supposed to go to the belt buckle, but there's other statues which are just holding a big giant cock. That's basically a circumcised one, by the way. Somebody pointed out that new statue they found out, that's circumcised. Like, what?
I don't know. No, I don't know. Was it?
Graham agreed.
Oh wow.
But either way, it's a lot of those. Well, the dicks have been broken off, so that's what their hands are going towards. So it goes towards the
those Romans, man.
Well, I know those Romans and the Greeks. Oh, the Greeks.
Who
he really gets into the. So did you know? I didn't know that Graham said 2,000 flood myths. There's 2,000 on the planet and counting.
Wow.
We're still discovering new flood myths, but there's 2,000 at this point. Also similar within these flood myths come 7 sages or 7 masters or 7 wise men who go and replant civilization, which really goes along with the Bible of be fruitful and multiply after the flood. And that's probably why there's a lot of statues of guys holding their dicks.
Right. Well, that makes sense. What's more important to stay alive other than agriculture and procreating?
Yep.
That makes sense.
We didn't hear brought up, and I want to, when we have the Serpent Bros back on, I didn't hear brought up, they keep saying they've deliberately buried Göbekli Tepe, which I can believe, but the Serpent Bros theory is way stranger. That no, it's just natural sediment that built
Just
up,
live in there.
which makes it so much older, which
True.
makes it insanely old.
Well, and if that's true, and there is sites below it, that means it's so much older, and then the things below it are so much older, right? Extending it even further back.
Yeah. So Graham has been in South America. We know he's filming Ancient Apocalypse season 2. Whenever he's done with Principal on these reality shows, depending, like I think it's 6 months post-production and editing. Usually that's what it takes for Skinwalker Ranch. That's what it takes for Clarkson's Farm. So that seems to be like whenever he's done wrapping Principal, we'll see the show 6 months later, probably. So like next year, midway through next year, he's on his way to Easter Island in 9 days. But before he goes there, and I can't wait to hear, because like they really need to get into Easter Island. The strangest thing is the statues are buried, but it's not deliberately buried. That's sediment that's built up. Now, how long does it take to build up sediment? Sometimes 20 feet, because those things go down 20 to 30 feet, depending on the statue. And they're like crooked. So where were they before? Did they get washed away? We don't know. So I'm glad that he's going there. But in 2 days, he's going to be on Joe Rogan. So he was supposed to debate an archaeologist. I'm kind of glad he's not, because I don't want to see. I think it's fine that he debates, but I'd hate to waste a Joe Rogan appearance on a debate, because the last one was kind of a clusterfuck. And I'd rather just hear Graham talk for 3 hours, which is what we're going to get, because unfortunately the archaeologist has cancer. So he can't do it. He's going to do it at a later date. Hope he gets better.
That sucks.
That sucks.
But he's recording on the 24th. It'll probably be out within a day. So definitely watch that for homework, audience and co-hosts. Definitely watch that for
Can't
homework.
wait for the release.
All right. I'll have to watch it. All right.
Yeah.
Homework.
Yeah, you pulled my arm. Gosh
Dang.
darn.
Ben has a lot of new work when it comes to the vase, whatever the hell it is. Keep an eye on his channel. Subscribe to Uncharted X if you haven't done that. I had a nice conversation with him that we're going to have off camera. We're going to definitely have him back. We're going to reach out to him. We're going to reach out to Jimmy too. But with Graham was great. Graham, okay. We had some really good, like there was, oh my God, I forgot the guy's name. I forgot. There was a guy, I caught half of his conference, and this was right before Graham. He had been to a pyramid that had been just decimated. And this pyramid overlooks the Giza Plateau. And this pyramid was made out of rose granite. Have you heard of it? I never fucking heard of it. No. So it's a pyramid
Granite.
that it's up on it's on like a little mountain, like a little hill. I will say a mountain. And its height is like almost even with the highest pyramid on the Giza Plateau, or at least the base was, right? So you can look down on it. And again, it's flattened to its foundation, but as you go up there, it's rose granite everywhere. It was encased in rose granite. And it's just blown up. So what the fuck can blow up a pyramid? Because that's not the only one. There's multiple pyramids. For one, there's 118 pyramids in Egypt. Did you know that? 118.
I knew it was over 100. I didn't know it was 118.
There's ziggurat, like there's one. It's just rubble, and the guy thought that that could possibly be the site of the Tower of Babel. Don't know about that, but this is the guy who, like, he went up there, and I had never seen that, but you can like see the Giza Plateau perfectly. You can see the 3 pyramids. So that was cool. But Graham mainly went over like a lot of the stuff we've already talked about. But what makes Graham a good speaker is he's funny. If you put any levity in this, because a lot of the speakers are dry, because they're like researchers, so they're very dry, scientific, analytical, methodical. And then you get like Jimmy, who's like, climate change was bullshit, and Graham, just shitting on archaeologists, which is hilarious. So it makes them really engaging speakers, and you pay attention to them. And Graham was like, stayed for every question, stayed to sign every book until everybody was done. Was totally a fucking cool dude. Absolutely cool dude. Got to get him on the show sometime. If you, but until then, no. Tom is in there in the chat. Great interview on Midnight's Edge with Graham Hancock. Go check it out.
It really was. It was so good. It was one of my favorite interviews, period, because of how engaging it was with the questions and how they were so on topic, and it brought things that I don't even think Graham was expecting, but they were very quality. I definitely highly recommend it. Definitely.
So Graham, like, I've seen these before, but people seeing him for the first time, it'll probably blow your mind. So he talks about the Sphinx, right? And he brings up Robert Schoch, and he's like, there's different major eras for Egypt. So Graham thinks that the pyramids it was a project that took thousands of years, but it started thousands of years ago. But he doesn't want to dismiss that the Egyptians had something to do with making the Great Pyramid of Giza. I'm not so sure about that. But definitely the Sphinx has been built, rebuilt, and it was carved out of the bedrock, and through the erosion, it's minimum 12,000 years old. Robert Schoch actually has come out since then and said it's older. It's probably 20,000 years old. And it was built out of a yardang. Like, they carved it out of a yardang. It was originally a lion, and that lion faced the east. And during that epoch of time, the constellation we're in Pisces now, so it faces Pisces. But at that time, 12,000 years ago, it faced Leo. So it was a lion facing Leo.
That makes sense.
When the sun came up on the spring equinox, right? Is it the spring equinox? So it goes right to the top of its head. It's facing the sun, and the sun comes right up the middle of its head. Now, if you go to Angkor Wat, same thing happens on their main, on that main. Here, I'll pull it up. So
I think the chat said that Midnight's Edge is Andre, actually.
Is that Andre in there?
Yeah,
I see Midnight's Edge. So in the chat, he just
I just always assume it's Tom. Andre, sorry.
Great interview. Great interview. Very nice.
I should have had this. Yeah, there it is. There's a good picture of it. So he had these pictures back to back. Let me see if I can get the Sphinx one. Sphinx.
Yeah, the Sphinx is definitely a lot older than they claim it to be. It's so obvious. The water erosion alone just proves that it's freaking insanely old. I don't know about 26,000 years, like or 13,000.
I think so. I think they say minimum 12,000 years. It could have been recarved. Well, it's been recarved and repaired so many times. It's kind of, it's impossible to tell.
Right.
Oh, fuck you, Medium. I hate it when you do that. All right. So there's that picture. I'm trying to get it nice, so you guys see the nope. Fucking stock photography, you suck. That'll work. There we go. All right. So first we're going to look at Angkor Wat. There we go. And when you see these pictures, unfortunately, I can't do it, but because I wasn't prepared. But when you see these pictures right next to each other, I think people, like everybody there has seen this before. Like there was a gasp. You can hear a gasp. So there's that. Spring equinox goes right over the top.
That's pretty cool.
Right over the top. Now, let's take a look at the Sphinx. right over the top. And they both like just, there's other pictures. What Graham had side by side pictures of the sun, like kissing the top of each structure. And it's like what the? So remember, these were all 110 pound hunter gatherers with their balls hanging out behind loincloths and sticks barefoot. Somehow they figured this out. It was pure luck. Pure luck.
With the ability to have perfect symmetry in their sculptures. Oh, sure. That we can't do without machines. Mm-hmm. Sure.
Oh, Jimmy showed a picture. So the stone of the pregnant woman on Baalbek, right? So there's that other one that they found is bigger. You've seen it. It's in Lebanon. They have the Trilithon, right? And then it's not Trilithon, sorry. They have the huge base stones and the Temple of Jupiter. Okay. Jupiter has those huge base stones, and then there's like a mile away. There's the one that's cut out. That they couldn't move. Was the biggest cutout stone. He showed another picture of it, and I had never seen this angle of it from the side. So the stone of the pregnant woman is like 17 feet high. It's like 70 feet long. Mm-hmm. The one that they uncovered relatively recently, is about the same length, but it's 30 feet high.
Is that the one that's right next to it?
Yeah, it's 30 feet effing high. It's
crazy.
Stupid big. There's no how. So Jimmy showed a picture of how they moved it. And basically the theory is they filled the area with sand, and then they dragged the big stones with like oxen. But it would take 800 oxen to move one of those stones. How would you fit 800 oxen up in the mountains, by the way? and how
up and down.
Up and down. Yeah. Let me see. Stone of the pregnant. Every time I go to, there's like one little thing I see that's new. Every time I go to it. Okay, so let's do this. We're going to look at Stone of the Pregnant Woman, and I guess what's the name of the one next to it? I'm just going to say the one next. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh, actually, here's an image that you can see the one next to it.
Okay, good. You got it? Because it's insane. But Jimmy took a full profile shot, which, I mean, if you're looking at it at an angle, it does not do it justice how effing big this stone is. Okay.
So you can see on the left.
You can see it on the left.
One you're talking.
That's the one on the left is bigger.
Right.
And it goes, so see how high that one is on the right? That's the Stone of the Pregnant Woman. That's hang on. I'll show you. Hang on.
Yeah. So you can actually kind of see all the way left that there's kind of, can you see my mouse? No, you can't. You can see that it's dug out on the left side of the one to the left here. And Jimmy did a live stream after he got back from Baalbek, and he showed some pictures of him shooting from that angle, and you could see how tall it is.
Deep it is. It is so
how deep. Yeah, it's crazy.
So this doesn't even do it justice, but I got a picture.
It doesn't. This doesn't either.
I'll find a better one. But
yeah. Trying to find something too.
Okay, so
there you go. Yeah,
one on the left that goes down another. So you see those little steps right here, those little steps in front.
They don't look that
goes down another 20 feet.
Yeah, those
20 feet.
They don't. They look like walls.
Like I have to probably like, if I jump down, I'd hurt my knees down each step.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, here's a good one.
800 oxen.
Yeah, fuck that. That's crazy.
This is like the same picture, a little closer.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. But I've never seen a profile shot, and I don't know Why?
It's crazy.
It is so big. That's what she said.
Mhm.
Insane.
I do not see. I don't even know what it's called. What chat? Do you know what it's called? Do they have a name for that stone? Stone of the other pregnant woman? No? Is it the body? Is a stone of the body positive woman? That's what we should call it.
The other woman. Gosh.
Yeah.
Huge.
Huge. Oh, and now I'm starting to get pictures of pregnant women.
You scroll too far.
I scrolled too far.
The Lizzo stone. That's pretty good.
The Lizzo stone is good.
My God.
The Lizzo
That was good.
stone is good. All right. But that similarities we were talking about between Hugh has a picture in the book. It's stuff like this that we need more of if I can find it. It is all of those standing stones, the one with like the owl face in Indonesia, next to each other, right? In like a little circle. I hope he's got it in this book because that would be really helpful. Yes. Haha. Zoom in on me. All right. Oh, come on.
So bright.
It's so bright.
Slowly bring it forward. Oh, there we go.
Here, I gotta block the light. Hang on. There we go. Block the light. So you see the
all right, that's good enough.
similarities. There's the one that's right here. That one looks
Oh, the
a
owl.
lot
Okay,
like,
the tilted owl.
yes, the tilted
Look
owl.
at the hands.
They're right. They're going right. So that's the same arms and positions as the Easter Island one.
Yep.
Which is
holding
also,
their big giant cock like
That's
X-Ray just did.
circumcised.
it
Well, I
looks
didn't
very
hold
similar
any.
to the Urfa Man, which
my
is
own.
from Quebec.
I know, but you had some girth to that hold, though.
That'd be too scary. Oh my God.
Well, you just gave the internet that
You
golden image, so
So
Good job.
more similarities. You got the owl looking face on this one by my
Look
finger.
at those hands on the bottom right.
See the elongated skull?
Yeah.
On the
Oh,
bottom
yeah, I
ones?
see that.
Okay.
All right, the bottom left too.
Yeah. So that's what they think the T pillar is. I'm looking for Urfa Man because Urfa Man looks like a goon from Popeye. Okay, here's
Cool.
that skull I was talking to you about. By my index finger there on the left hand side.
On the left page.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's
It doesn't
the
go
one-
up as much as I expected, though, because
That's
most
Well,
of the elongated skulls they
there's
kind
two
of have.
there's two
you know,
kinds.
this
There's cone head,
upward,
and there's the
like
ones that
cone
go
head.
back.
Yeah.
So
Ah.
there's two different kinds. But I highly recommend. Oh, there's Urfa Man right there. This is from Go
That's
Back to
creepy.
Teppy. That's Urfa Man. Arms in the same
wait.
position.
That's from Göbekli Tepe, really?
Yep.
Really?
I've never seen
Oh.
that. That's
What
cool.
book is that called that you
how
have
big?
in your hand?
How big is that? I want that book.
7
Oh.
feet. 6 feet.
That's a 7 foot. Oh my gosh! I need.
You got to
that
go.
book.
There's a museum in Turkey. If we ever go there, that's where it is. The biggest T pillars are in the museum too. They're like 20 feet high. They're huge.
Wow.
And they are older. They are the oldest ones. The oldest are the best. So we have a statue in Easter Island that is very similar to a statue in Indonesia, which is very similar to a statue in Turkey, which is very similar to statues in Greece, which is very similar to statues in, well, it's still considered Greece, but Malta. They all have the similarities. Then there's the handbags. There's handbags in South America. There's handbags in Turkey. There's handbags in Egypt. There's handbags in Greece. There's also the nubs and the keystone cuts that are all over that fucking world. There is, step pyramids in China, step pyramids in South America, step pyramids in Cambodia, step pyramids in Egypt, and they all kind of look alike. So now that people can actually do the footwork, it's a lot easier to travel, Google Earth and such. And what sucks is there are giant swaths of land we can't fucking touch. There's China. There's no archaeology going on in China that they're ever going to share, which is too bad because I'm sure they have their hands on ancient records because they were some of the best at it, even though they burn their own records all the time. Graham pointed out and Jimmy pointed out that the Sahara has not been touched by archaeology, like barely, like grazed by archaeology.
Combed, like in
Spaceballs.
Forget the name. Spaceballs. Thank you.
Spaceballs. Yeah.
They just combed it.
Graham said they sent up a drone to do LADAR in South America, right? And they just did like a 3 square mile thing, and they found three separate giant earth mounds structures, henge-like mounds, or not mounds, but henges.
What?
They found 3 more. And they just sent up a fucking drone. So
in one spot, and they found 3.
One little spot, and they found 3.
Wow.
Luke has talked about this in the jungle. Like, hey, we're just hitting the peripheral of the jungle, and we're finding all these cities. Imagine what's deep inside there. Like, we have no idea, because there were accounts that there was millions of people living in the Amazon rainforest, millions, and it was down to 100,000.
And these are the same that have these people are the same that have the same DNA as the Aboriginals in
some
Australia?
in the jungle. Yes.
Wow.
Again, the whole theory that if you watched Ancient Apocalypse, Graham talked about this, that if there was a cataclysm, all the prime real estate's underwater. Sea levels went up 400 feet. And the survivors would try to spread their civilization, but the people who'd still be around would be the hunter-gatherers, which there was a lot more of back then. But hunter-gatherers live with us today. So to think that they weren't there and prevalent, and they were the ones who inherited the earth. I wouldn't call them the meek. I would just call it the survivalists will inherit the earth. And that's the hunter-gatherers.
That's the lucky ones.
Yeah.
Really.
But there is so many theories of why the earth has a wobble. They got a little bit into that, that it might, the procession, the astrological procession might not be the earth's wobble. There's another theory out there that our sun is orbiting a binary star, and that might cause the wobble. Not really sure. I don't know if a lot. What did they say? Most stars are binary systems, but we just don't know. We don't know. We're too far away from the other one. Could be a dwarf star. We don't know. But the interesting thing Hugh Newman got into was that new site that we discussed called...
Not Carhan.
No, Carhan's old news, baby. They found a couple of more that could be bigger than Göbekli Tepe.
Could be bigger.
Much bigger.
This is Turkey still.
Turkey. Okay. Sayburk. Sayburk.
Sayburk. Okay.
They found, actually, Hugh mentioned Ben, because they found these plates that are just insane. They're like perfectly made plates, like giant plates, but they're perfectly smooth. So they look like they have the same craftsmanship as the pots that Ben was talking about. And basically, I think what they're getting at with the pots is, remember, they're in Egypt, they're pre-dynastic. So what they have been doing is finding these like really advancedly made pottery in the graves of not very advanced people. Right. And they look like heirlooms that they have been passed down over ages. The kind of thing you can pass down is some pottery. You can pass down that. You can't pass down, a pyramid or anything like that. So it takes civilization back further. I wanted to ask Graham a question. I didn't get a chance because he's the one who recommended the Cave of Bones documentary.
Oh, okay.
We had the structure that was discovered that's 400,000 years old. And I'd love to think, how do you feel about that? Like, what's your thoughts on that? Are you going to talk about an ancient apocalypse? Are you going to, because that changes everything, dude. Absolutely everything.
Does.
So here is Seburg. The village of Seburg is located upon a raised mound 20 kilometers from San Lufra. In 2021, it was the scene of a stunning discovery. A 5-figure carved stone panel was unearthed from under a house, part of a PPN enclosure. The 11,000-year-old carving details 2 leopards, a bull, a jumping man with 6 or 7 fingers. 6 or 7 fingers.
Interesting.
On one hand,
weird.
holding a serpent or a boa, and a 3D relief carving of a man with a V-neck and a phallus. You're not going to be able to see this picture, good, but I'll show you. Nearby, Analar Hoyuk, I cannot pronounce it, is the 3rd largest mound site identified after Karhan Tepe and Göbekli Tepe. Only a small section has been investigated. Its Kurdish name is Greyhut, giant that eats. Stunning artifacts have already been unearthed. Really detailed ones, but if you can see, you're going to have to blow me up here and I will try to block this light. Give me a moment, folks. So you're going to see the guy. He's right there, right?
Oh, yeah. I think I found a picture of it online if you want.
Yeah, there's leopards all around him. And Hugh was saying there are leopard carvings everywhere in Turkey. Yeah.
There you go.
So, I mean, aside from the obvious lesson we're learning here is don't jack off in front of the leopards. But I just wouldn't do that. This was found under a house. And they're finding so much more. And that's the story I told you where like they knew it was there and they were afraid to tell anybody because the government would just rip out the town, which is exactly what they're doing right now. They're displacing everybody because the tourist money is so good. Is so good.
I want to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get my money.
Well, Hugh Newman talked about the earthquakes too. Like, maybe that's why they buried Göbekli Tepe because there's so many damn earthquakes. It would have been absolutely destroyed. But yeah, he showed a picture of him. He was walking around a town and he found a T-pillar just laying on the ground. The top of a T-pillar just laying on the ground.
No biggie.
Wow.
No big.
Like, oh, hey, look. That's probably 10,000 years old.
And Karhan Tepe, I know we've talked about it before, but it's pretty insane that they just recently have dug this up. And it turns out that on the winter solstice, the sun comes up, puts a light through, and that snake face, in that little carved out pit of basically phalluses, there's a face. There's a face in there. The winter solstice, like the light hits it right in the face. And if they dial it back to 10,000 years ago, it would have lit up the entire face. Right now, it just lights up the bottom.
Wow.
10,000 years. Cool. Now, for almost 10,000 years, this thing's been under dirt. So they just uncover it. And Hugh Newman and Andrew Collins were the ones there and the first ones to see that go, wait a minute. And there's a hole dug like in some rock. So that light,
perfectly.
It's not like it's out exposed. The light has to go through a dugout hole to hit the guy's face. It's fucking nuts. And again, 100-pound dudes with no shirts, no math, no tools, figured this out. Trial and error.
And yeah, well, trial and error too. You got to think to know exactly where the light on that day, which, they have a couple days max to like really hone in exactly where the light is gonna land on that face to then build the where the hole is, or drill the hole, or dig out the hole. I don't know how they did it, but I did find those books, by the way. It's only $10.
Yeah, they're cheap.
Wow.
I'm gonna buy that. Yeah,
That
will be mine. What's the other two that you got? You showed 3.
Okay, so I've got Göbekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe, the world's first megaliths. Earth
Got that one,
grids, the secret patterns of Gaia's sacred
Oh,
sites.
okay. I have that one
Yeah.
in my box too.
And
What's the third?
stone circles.
Stone
Yep.
circles.
I found
Okay.
stone circles also.
If any of these guys are listening, you need audiobooks. Not for these, but like for
The longer books.
for a lot of the books by these guys are not in audio form. That needs to change.
Yeah. Because
Mhm.
there's the Giants of Stonehenge in ancient Britain. I'm probably gonna get that as well.
Yeah, that needs an audiobook, like big time.
Mm-hmm.
So here is my internet's holding up great now. God damn, of
Should have been
course.
there for FNT.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. This is the face I was talking about. So this face is dug into a pit that, I mean, for lack of a better term, it looks like just a bunch of phalluses sticking up. So the light hits.
Hold on. Finish. I want to add something about this room that I kind of feel like it might be something other than just phalluses. I'll just get into it. I watched a documentary on fungus, mushrooms, and the mycelium network, and how important it is for biodiversity and like understanding how it moves nutrients in the ground. And like, it's insanely important. Like, bees are really important, and for plants to survive and work, like, we need the bees. Well, we also need mushrooms, and mushrooms are part of the reason why. Well, I mean, the expanded or the enlightened monkey theory, right? Eating some mushrooms and expanding the brain. Like, it could be mushrooms, right? I mean, it might not just be a bunch of dicks in that room, because they kind of look like phallus.
It could be,
phallical.
but here.
You're like, I don't know. Look at this, though. You got a picture of it?
I know what a mushroom looks like, bro. And yeah, I got a picture. I got a picture for you. Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't scroll too far.
Don't scroll too far. There we go. For those of you at home, Adam thinks we're looking at mushrooms. I think
No, I'm not saying. I haven't seen the image of it in a while, and then I watched this a couple weeks ago.
It's a patch of dicks.
Oh my God. It's a field of.
But there's one. I don't know if that's a dude or a leopard or what's going on.
I don't know. I mean, they could be mushrooms.
Sure, buddy.
You know what? It could also be like, imagine if this room was filled with water, and that scene from The Golden Child where he can't drop any water out of the freaking cup, out of the glass.
Good movie.
It could be. It was a classic, right?
I love Golden Child.
Yeah. What do you know? What if he's got to leap from spot to spot, platform to platform?
So in the wintertime, that face is in shadow, by the way. And from the direction we're coming at, there's like something to the left, I believe, that it goes through like a little hole and shines on the mouth.
Really?
Yeah. But like 10,000 years ago, again, it would have lit up the whole face, and it would have been the only thing like lit up in there, which is
That's
nuts.
creepy.
Absolutely
Yeah, that's
nuts.
creepy. I like it.
Here we can show the new discovery at Karahan Tepe, which is guy holding his Johnson.
Just very proud of it.
Yep. Guy holding his Johnson. Tastefully covered by a Google ad. But yeah,
Oh no, we see it.
I'm sure you do.
Oh, never mind. Now it's covering it.
It's trying. It's trying.
So cool.
Yeah. And again, 11,000 years old. There's the face again. There's the wieners. And they've got 5% of it uncovered right now. And this is Turkey.
Wow.
And this takes everything back 11, 12,000 years minimum. In my opinion, it makes sites like Malta just as I find it very hard to believe that Malta and Stonehenge are separated 5,000 years from this. I just find that hard to believe.
Yeah.
I think they're all around from the same time, but that's just me. I can't prove it. I just think stuff is way older than they say it is.
I'm gonna agree with you there.
Yeah. I can't wait to go and check out some of the places I can check out here in America, although they're not as, sexy as, Angkor Wat or Stonehenge or Göbekli Tepe. But, we've got Chaco Canyon, which is properly weird here. Lots of petroglyphs. We've got old footprints in White Sands that I'm going to go check out in New Mexico. We got old footprints in Texas that I'm going to check out. So we've got our stuff here. No fabulous pyramids though.
You should go check out the Puebloans down in Colorado, where we were talking about.
Oh, I definitely want to.
Verde. That's a cool
I've checked
spot.
them out in New Mexico with my mom. My mom. So the one who used to work the range as a ranger in Grand Canyon. Straight up, all into. She knows all. She took me to a site that hadn't been touched. So it was just carved out niche where somebody lived. It had a window. And then she showed me they're like little bowls that are carved into the bedrock or rock where they ground their food, where they get their, and dude, there was still food in it. There was like
what?
Corn. Yeah. You know how big corn used to be, by the way? Like
small.
That big. Like that
tiny.
Big. Yeah.
Right.
So she's like, oh, there's still food in here. And this was 10 years ago. So she found some site that nobody touched for hundreds of years. And we climbed up there and there was still like fucking food in there. Yeah. It was crazy.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got to take my mom along with us because she knows the score.
She knows the spots.
She knows the spots.
Nice.
Chat, please forgive Gary's tardiness. Hey, you know what sucks is I voted that we'd be on time.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. He was busy his bi-weekly probing from Zorbu. Gary, make sure to sit on your inflatable donut and use Preparation H. Nick S., I had to sit on one of those inflatable donuts because I broke my tailbone.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
It's really hard
Breaking
to do.
tailbones. I broke my tailbone before skateboarding.
Yes.
It's the worst.
It's horrible.
Can't do anything.
I broke it.
Preparation H, though?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, how'd you break it? What'd you do?
I was fucking around after a fire. So we were done mopping up and we were going down a hill. So I decided to be like the slalom skier, So I just I was like switch back and I'm like, look at me, boo. And I fucking slipped and caught a rock right in my ass.
Oh.
So yeah, misadventure.
That sucks.
Yeah. I was young. Gary is playing Demonologist with you guys next week. Wow. What a Halloween treat. Laugh my ass off. Hail the fellowship. Hail fellow travelers. Hayden for $20. What's up, Hayden, brother? Yeah, I'm going to, when we get closer to the holidays, I'll be gaming a lot more. I have agreed to play that Party Animals game.
Yeah.
So
Oh
I'm
my
We're going to have so much fun.
I'll play with you guys.
Our next square up is going to be, I'll be playing Witcher 3 on the next square up. So, cause I actually want to play that. I've actually thought about it on my leisure
Episode
time.
2, Gary goes into the door.
Yes. Gary goes through the door.
What's beyond the door?
And when we get to around Christmas, I'm going back to Hogwarts.
Oh, I love that
I'm
game.
going back to Hogwarts. So
Cool.
Spider-Man 2 looks a little woke. Don't think I'm going to play it.
Looks
Don't do
trash, dude.
Mary Jane looks. Ugh.
I was watching Mark play a little bit, and I was watching Peter Parker fight a symbiote. I can't remember which one it was. And he was bitching about, he was saying how much better Mary Jane was than him. And
I made a clip. I clipped it. I have the clip. You want to watch that spot?
Yeah.
I have that clip right there.
Thanks again, Hayden. Gotta move this.
Because so I had commented in chat.
Was it Scream? Was he fighting Scream? Tell me, chat.
Yeah, he was fighting fighting Scream. So I don't know. How do I share audio? I think it just automatically shares audio. Okay.
I almost bought a PS5 for this game, and then I saw Mary Jane's face, and I went, "Fuck that!"
Yep.
PC supremacy.
Can you hear it?
Oh yeah. No, I can't hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it?
No,
Well,
I hate that white
I don't-
spider too. I fucking hate that white spider. I hate it with a purple passion.
So it's not. You don't have to hear it because it says right here. You see Peter. He's saying, or Scream says, "What? You don't feel special anymore?" And Peter responds with, "Hold on, where? What? No, you're stronger than me in so many ways.
What?
You single-handedly kept. You've been single-handedly holding our lives together." He's talking to MJ right now. Like, I'm sorry, MJ. I took you for granted. It's like, who the fuck is this? What?
Why
He's
would
talking to a symbiote.
I'd rather have him break up than have him talk like this. Bring back one more day.
MJ's gone. No, you aren't.
What?
No, I'm sorry I caused you so much pain. Dude, Soiderman.
Soiderman.
Yeah.
Soiderman. I agree with that. Was that Mark saying Soiderman, or was that you?
No, that's what I said. Yeah.
Okay.
And then Mark started laughing because he's like, "Oh, you're so right," because he's arguing with the symbiote who has control of MJ. He's not even talking to MJ right there. He's talking to the symbiote.
Scream.
Yeah.
So
It's so stupid. Scream. Yeah.
Luis Suevo says Adam is homogeneous.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
He is.
I'll take it as a
He's
compliment.
a homogeneous for sure.
Sure.
Hail to you, JJ. Thank you for being a member for 5 months. Excuse Garrett for not showing. He's getting probed under Gary's desk. Shh, quiet.
What?
Gary,
Shut up, Garrett.
Andre on for Midnight's Edge as a guest. Yes, we'll have Andre on. I'll call Andre. I don't know what I mean. Well, shit. If Adam can stay up, Andre can stay up. But I know, Andre has.
Yeah,
a day
he's over
job.
here. He's over here, isn't he?
Andre has a proper day job, like an adult job.
He was in the chat. He can be here.
Yeah, we'll bring Andre
Well, at the
on.
beginning. Is he
Oh,
still in
true.
chat?
I don't
I don't
know.
know if he's still there, but if he is, hey buddy, we'll get you on like ASAP. This is like a truncated road episode. Gary, are you hungry? Oh boy, am I hungry? Not really. You know what? I had a carne asada burrito, a California carne asada burrito, food of the gods, best Mexican food ever. Okay, obscure
Chicken mole burrito. Sorry. Those
no
are banging.
carne asada burrito. You don't even know what you're talking about. You've been to California. You've had carne asada burritos in San Diego, right? Adam?
I don't think not in San Diego.
Then you can't say. You got to have one first, and then you can make your opinion. All right.
All right. You're right. All right. Touche.
Gary, are you hungry for some cosmic Anunnaki horror full of archaeological controversies, out of place artifacts, and a lost Proto-Indo-European civilization? Check out my novel, Grendel Wept, now out on paperback. That's Obscure Artiste for $20. That sounds like everything I like.
Yeah.
There's Andre right there. There's our buddy. For 200 Norwegian krona. Thank you, buddy. The only reason I didn't ask Graham about Season of Ancient Apocalypse in my interview with him was because he asked me not to in advance. Glad to see it's coming though. He would have loved to attended CPAC as well.
Awesome.
Yeah. So the only reason I found out is somebody told me. And then it's pretty easy to suss out with all he's either researching a new book, which I don't think he needs to do. Honestly, unless we get a breakthrough in the Younger Dryas impact theory, I don't think he needs to write another book. I think for the longest time we needed to have a proper Graham Hancock documentary, right, Andre? Which we got.
Right.
So I'm guessing the reason he asked you not to was because it wasn't done yet. That would be my guess. I mean, you know how the Andre covers as much entertainment as I do. So when things are unsure, they tend to not say something until it's like signed on the dotted line, and they still won't say anything. They haven't announced it yet.
Well, was it confirmed by the time he did that interview? I'm not sure. It might not have been like announced.
I still don't think it's announced.
A new season. The new season?
Yeah, but I know they're
Officially.
filming it. Because that's why he went to South America, and that's why he's going to Easter Island. So maybe the whole thing is to like, you got greenlit. We're going to keep this under the radar because they don't want to hear from the, academic world, because he got a lot of shit. Andre knows this. He got a lot of shit.
Oh yeah.
But this thing did really well on Netflix. So Netflix stood by him. I got to give him, credit where credit is due. They stood by him. So that's interesting that he asked you not to, though, in advance. Interesting.
He also said in chat that he was really happy that he got the chance to meet Graham in person before they even did an interview. So that's cool. I don't know what the circumstances is, but I saw that he said that in chat when he was here.
That is really cool.
When he super chatted that. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. Would you do an episode about astral projection? I would make it part of something super crazy for £2 British. I don't know if I would do an entire episode on it, but I would make a segment. Sure.
Yeah.
That's one of those things where I'm not sure. Ginger Adventure for $5. Japanese envoys traveled to Tenochtitlan? Sure.
Tenochtitlan. Yeah.
When the Spanish came, crazy stuff, even converting in Spain. Really? Wow. Gary, there were very big oxen. Do you not know about Babe and Paul Bunyan? This is true.
Nice.
Hey, well, if they built that 12,000 years ago, they would have had probably bigger animals, right? But they would have had bigger people too, I think. The history that has been lost to communists is an absolute crime to humanity, says the Happy Plague Doctor, $5. You're not kidding. Communists, so empires,
yeah,
crusades, Islam.
I'm just shitty humans.
Yep. 7 fingers. Are you telling me that the ancient carvers were actually just really shady AI? Maybe. Ask Shad. Ask Shad.
Yeah.
Eric K says, happy birthday to our birthday girl, Mila. Mila. Oh, what's up? Happy birthday.
Mila.
Happy birthday, Mila.
Happy birthday, lady. Hope you're doing okay. Hope you're doing okay. Thanks, Eric. What's up with this delay? Like I click it, X-Ray Girl, and it takes like a second to come up. Drunken Throat Punch for $10. Who? I remember stories and ex-Marine talked about fallen angels' kids, the Nephilim or something like that. Yeah, it's the Nephilim. And say that they had 6 digits on each limb and they killed one in the mountain on the desert. That is from that's the Afghanistan story, but that goes
right. The giant.
And the giants.
I didn't hear that it was a giant. I heard it was a giant though.
A giant with 6 digits. Yeah. Well, that's what Hugh Newman will get into, and others where Jim Vieira will get into it too, where the giants, red-headed giants, double sets of teeth, 6 toes, 6 fingers. Average 9 feet tall, but it can range from 7 to 10 feet tall.
Oh my God.
So Johnson's mouth and light shining on it. Is this a porn? Is it Pornhub Tepe? Asked Andrew Mathis.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe. I went on a field trip in England when I was a kid, saw a mound whose walls were made up of skulls and a giant phallus in the center of the room. Yes, they believe that skulls were hung from, Hugh Newman thinks that it was, they were tripping balls at Göbekli Tepe because they were making beer there. So they were making beer 12,000 years ago, which means somebody had to know how to make beer. Priorities,
True.
But there's also like there was a mold that if it fermented long enough on the beer, it's one of the ingredients of acid. So they could have been drinking and just tripping. And that's why they carved all that crazy shit, which, I totally believable.
Yeah, I believe it.
I mean, what else is there to do? Hunt, gather, trip balls. Josh Kelsey drops 20 and walks away. What's up, Josh? Thanks, brother. There's WG right there. Soylent Green is pineapple pizza. Fucking great, whatever it is. Gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships too. Bless you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, WG.
WG, just answer in the chat. Hang on, let me get to the regular chat.
I can keep watch too.
Because nobody knows who you really are, so you can tell me. The person that that was doing the studying about the possible airburst, Graham talked about that finally. He talked about like the new exciting research. I can't remember if it was like Sudan or Jordan though. It's slipping my mind right now because I'm getting old, WG. But where your acquaintance did some stuff. And he finally talked about it. So he talked about airbursts, and he said, most of the younger Dryas, he said he's all, yes, sure, there was kilometer wide pieces of ice and stuff that hit the northern ice cap, but he said the vast majority of it was airbursts. So I'm going to quickly tell the story briefly of America before. I've told this story before where they found a mammoth or mastodon or mammoth, an extinct animal in America. And some hunter-gatherers, some Clovis people had hunted it, cut off its leg. We're going to take it back to the fire to go cook it. In between the time they killed this animal, cut its leg off, took it over to the fire, something terrible happened. And it left that dirt layer, that matte layer that we've seen pictures of it in Arizona. There's like a big dark line here. I can show you too. Black matte layer, Arizona. I could drive past that if I wanted to.
True.
I wanted to drive home, which my wife's like, no, we're not, Mom. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. Here it is. So this is in something Springs, Arizona. It's near Winslow. Yeah, Murray Springs. Dark line shown above is the black mat, 12.9 Ka, along the Arroyo Wall of the Murray Springs Clovis site in Arizona. So that black mat layer is basically soot from fires and impacts. Well, that black mat layer was all over the mastodon or mammoth, whatever one. I can't remember what it was. They even gave it a name. They gave it a name.
Oh, I see.
So after that hunting thing happened, there was an airburst. They believe there's an airburst, and that's where the guy, Graham's all hypothetically, this could have been an airburst, and the archaeologist goes, hypothetically, it could. They had to make sure to say hypothetically. So if this hypothetical airburst happened between when the hypothetical Clovis people hypothetically killed this thing and cut off its leg and went off to go eat it at a fire, describe that to me hypothetically. And he goes, well, hypothetically, if a, say, Tunguska sized, which is about 30 meters, 300 feet, 300 feet, a 300-foot asteroid blows up in the atmosphere, causes a huge fucking explosion. Now, everybody saw in 2013 when in that Russian town when the meteor came down, blew up, and there's all those dash cameras. That gives you an idea of what Tunguska looked like. And you guys remember how bright that was. Like it was brighter than the sun for a second. It just like lit up the entire sky. So say this explosion was bigger. And what it does is it punches a hole in the atmosphere. So it allows space, absolute zero, to hit the ground, basically. It creates a bubble, and it basically our protection is gone. The coldness of space comes down to the earth. Atmosphere closes back up, makes a big fucking noise. That's when this is all simultaneous with a flaming hot explosion of something 300 feet, a 300-foot rock getting superheated by our atmosphere, going as fast as a bullet, blowing up. So it blows up, absolute zero. Then the heat comes, but it's all within like a nanosecond or whatever. So you freeze to death and you burn to death. And then you die.
What a way to go. That's how I want to go out.
Seems very sudden. I like that.
Yeah, that is
Get it over with.
by far the most fascinating, like, butthole, clenching moment in any of fucking Graham's books is like when you read that and you're like, holy shit, it's an epic way to die. Only you will know it for a nanosecond, though.
Right.
You get to wherever the afterlife is, and say, I fucking froze and burned to death all at the same time, and was killed
in
by
10,000 years. They're going to be talking about me on podcasts.
That's right.
I'm telling you right now. I'm calling it right now. They'll be talking about me.
That's right. Freezer burned. That's what it is. It's kind of like having, brain freeze, except worse.
Like a whole body freeze.
A little worse. Just a little worse.
A little worse.
Yeah.
A little bit worse. I don't know. Sometimes you get brain freeze, you want to die. I mean, it's bad.
It's the same process for deep fried ice cream, I believe. Yeah. It's kind of how they. No.
Ew.
Deep fried ice cream? What?
I've never had it, but it's a thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've never had it, so I don't even know what it is. I just thought it was kind of funny. But.
Magnetic pole shift may have contributed. It may have. It may very well have, because we have one giant question out there. How was Siberia 12,000 years ago warmer than areas technically south?
Mm-hmm.
So parts of Siberia were north of Canada, upper Montana, just for like, were north of the great ice sheets. How were they warmer? How is that even possible?
That's what this micronova theory actually talks about. It's that the sun micronovas every 11,000 years or so, and what happens is it superheats the layer between the mantle and the crust of our Earth, and it basically, instead of them slowly shifting how we've started with Pangea and then everything slowly moved over millions of years, this is surmising that the plates then just free float, and they'll move wherever, and it'll be catastrophic, and they might not move. One might be sliding all over the place, who knows? But those kind of things could happen. So like maybe even Siberia wasn't where it was or where it is now. Maybe it was in a different location. Not even talking about the pole shifting, because that's one of the aftermath effects of this micronova event is the pole shifting as well. So it's interesting how they tie together. That's what the Adam and Eve story is that the CIA was trying to hide. That's what I was. It's a crazy story, actually. Why would the CIA try to hide this?
No,
this theory.
And Jimmy did a video on that, and there is the pole shift theory that's very docile and will be fine, and then there's the one where wind doesn't stop, tides don't stop, but the Earth does, and everybody dies. So I like the docile one. That's the one I prefer.
I mean, if the CIA knew about this theory and actually thought that it could be a potential truth, and they didn't, why would they want the world to know that hey, there's actually a really high chance that the Earth will stop and start reverse and start spinning the other direction, and everyone dies, and there's nothing we can do to stop it? how would they be able to maintain any semblance of order? The world
None.
would fall apart.
Fall apart. Hopefully, 7 sages would run around, bearded men who have
Drinking beer,
fish
and
attire,
fucking-
teaching you how to drink beer that's acid, and screw.
Yeah. Right. Save us all.
Yeah. Hayden 75 for 50.
50.
Excellent. Good.
Mhm.
Do any of the submissions you've seen sound crazy yet? I've got a story of a weird experience that every time I think of it sounds crazy and makes me feel like I'm nuts, but it was real. I effed around and found out and had lasting effects. Please send it in, Hayden.
Oh my god, did you touch
Oh,
a
yeah.
Ouija board? I feel like you touched a Ouija board.
Dude, Hayden.
Did you send it in? You
I
better.
don't think I have that story yet. I've only browsed through it quickly. I never actually read. I haven't actually read through them yet. I'm waiting till I get them all so I know how much time to put towards it.
So, I mean, you might have changed jobs, Hayden. I don't know. But the last time I spoke to Hayden was in Vegas. We were,
This past year?
this past year on Fremont. And he was telling me about what he does. He drives around the oil fields of America.
Oh,
Doing
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Said he hasn't sent anything yet,
Oh, okay.
and it was worse than a board. I don't know what's
What?
worse than that.
But he's out there in the middle of nowhere, like all the time. You haven't seen anything, especially where like
Oh, I'm
don't
sure
wanna
he
say what's
has. I'm
but
sure.
He's,
come
he's
on.
still at the same job. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, send it in, Hayden. I would love to read this. What's
Oh, yeah.
worse than a Ouija board?
I mean, that'd be the best part about your job is you're out there in the middle of the night. You get to see all the stars and I bet you see all kinds of weird shit. Come on.
Mhm, mhm.
Happy play. How's that looking to you guys right now? Does that look
Fine.
double exposed?
Fine.
Okay, it's
Oh,
double
you're
exposed.
fine. Yeah.
The grin on Adam's face is priceless. Loved his forest video. Get that metal detector, says the Happy Plague
I
Doctor.
need one. I do.
Bert-
I need ones.
Here's our good friend, Bird of Prey 5. Bird of Prey! What's up, my brother? Hope you're doing better. Hope mom is okay. Hope you're okay. Try and get Doug Drexler. He has a good story about using a medium to contact DC Fontana. No way. And he was beyond sure that it was legit. Bird, I've met Doug Drexler. I have a Tom Constantino knows Doug Drexler. Maybe we should get him on. Worked on the Orville. So I met him on the set of the Orville, but he's also worked on Galactica. He's a genius. He's a creative genius. Hail Doug Drexler. Did he do work on Picard season 3? I know you didn't like it, but I loved it. I loved it. Bird's my boy. Been around this channel for a long time. Shake from Hunger Team. Thank you for the $5. What's up, Shake? And then we have Congolin, member for 7 months, says check out the Genesis history and their work on the pole shift that split Pangea. Ooh, that I'm interested in. So they have record
Interesting.
in the magma that they found at the bottom of the ocean of previous pole shifts. So they know they happen. I don't think it would be good if it happened. It would be just like if a Carrington event happened, we'd be screwed. I'd be out of a job. I'd be out of a job.
I think we'd have bigger issues than losing our jobs.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting do you have a generator, Adam?
I don't.
I don't
I
either.
need to get
I'm
one.
I
fixing that.
should. Well, I want a truck, a generator, and like ways to make food and protection. There's too many things to think about and the world stuff type of thing.
I want to work out hydroelectric power because I have a river that doesn't freeze, like on my
Oh.
property, and it drops in elevation about 1.5 feet from where it hits my property and wraps around my property. So there's like a little waterfall area. So like I could get like a water wheel going.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have
Yeah, I was
a
looking at
lot
that.
of like trees for wood for fire and
Oh yeah, I live next
like-
to a forest,
yeah. Dang.
and my house is from 1850, and it still has like the wood-fired stove. I've got a wood
Yeah.
fire, like just
Wow.
it's still got the original setup. So
We
Right.
got a fireplace and furniture we can burn if we always have wood. But like proper generator is a good idea. George the Giant Slayer told me to get one as soon as I moved here.
George!
He's like, generator. George! It's a few years, but I'm finally
to
getting
have.
around to it, George. Finally getting around to
Yeah.
it, buddy. All right. We're gonna have to wrap things up. Oh wait.
There's a couple of Streamlabs if you want me to read that as well.
Give me the name
All right,
of
you
the
got it hard
medium
out.
if you can. Kapla. I will. I will do that. I will do that, brother.
Mhm.
Kapla, my friend.
All right. Do you want me to read the Streamlabs then?
Yes, please.
Okay, so we have Crit Nature on the Streamlabs side for $10. Hey guys, a theory to think about. We all can only use a fraction of our brains. What if ancient people many thousand years had already the possibility to use close to 100% of their brain? So, of course, invent and engineer new technologies would be a lot easier.
Well, that was
True.
one of the main themes of the conference was about consciousness, right? It was one of the deals. And the ancients, we have lost so much. So when the archaeologists look at everything in the frame of our current culture, like where's the plastic, where's the metal? It's like they didn't make that shit. They were way more in tune with the earth, and they knew about things like the pineal gland. They knew what sperm looked like. I think a lot of the serpent symbolism, help me, my brothers and sisters out there, if anybody from the conference is out there, I don't know, they're watching, they might be busy. A lot of the
Frequencies.
it looks like sperm. It doesn't look like a serpent. They're like, this is a serpent symbol. I mean, that is sperm, bro. That is straight up a sperm. I have the sperm impact theory. That's my theory. No, I think they. There's also, there is signs that they knew what DNA looked like. Dude, they're in some of those elongated skulls, they have fucking holes drilled in them on the top of their head that they were awake for, but it helped. It was medical procedures, it was brain surgery. They were doing brain surgery back then, so they knew what was
Hypothetically.
up. Hypothetically, dude, they knew because there was holes drilled in these skulls, and that's not what killed the people. Like they lived with these things. So,
that's weird.
because they had more than one put in.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's the terra preta, right? That's the earth, that's the soil in the Brazilian jungle that's reusable. It never goes bad. You can just grow shit in it forever. And they know how to manufacture it, and we don't. Ayahuasca, two completely different things joined together in a jungle with 150,000 different plants, and somebody did the trial and error to put these things together to make something that you can trip on, and you got to have them both. You can't do it with just the ayahuasca leaf. It needs that root or whatever, because your stomach enzymes just get rid of it, right? So they nullify the effects. So you have to have that root or vine or whatever it is that basically turns off the stomach enzymes, and so that's why you get sick a little bit when you take it. Like, who in the fuck figured that out?
Yeah, it's weird.
So it was very different. It was a very different world. We were far more in tune, and we could do things like cut giant blocks and put them together perfectly. How? We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Now there's Bigfoot again on the Streamlabs side for $25, says, you Homo sapiens eat pineapple pizza. So now you know why I avoid people. Keep that struggle pizza out of the woods. All right.
Whatever. More for me.
And then Zorbu for Zorbu for $50 said, had a situation
Zorbu.
today.
What?
Our navigator Z Tour drew the short straw to probe Gary. Long story short, old Zeet inserted the probe only to sink his arm in up to his shoulder. Gary clamped down, and then we had to break out the jaws of life. Poor Zeet. We tried to probe Crigler recently. He's a crafty one, though, and took the defensive measure of sealing one end with a plug and the other end with a ball gag. Like they
That's how I
say,
sleep at night.
oh
Safe.
my God. Defense wins championships. Well played, sir.
Adam Crigler gets probed a long way.
Oh my God.
Every night, I guess. Protection. Always
Defense
protect
wins
yourself.
championships. He's not wrong.
Mhm.
He's not wrong.
Nope.
And then Mac McFarland for $2. Survival instructor here. I'll teach y'all. Honestly,
Cool.
that is really cool. I'm watching a TV show called Alone, where it's
Love
a
that show.
competition-based single person going out in the wild and 10 items to survive, which it's pretty hard to like do that all on your own. Make sure you get enough food and shelter, and one slip could kill you.
Yeah, I love those shows.
Yeah.
I think it's North Canada too, right? That they
Well, the
did that one.
I'm watching is in the Arctic, season 6. So I want to find the other seasons if I can. Because, I mean, hiking is a small subset of all those skills. I couldn't do that solo. That, like, hunting with a bow and arrow. Oh my
Yeah.
God. And then I've never skinned or gutted an animal either. I live a very cushy life.
Yeah.
I've done that with fish, but not ever like a land animal.
Mm-hmm. So
If I get hungry
it's
and
cool.
desperate enough, I'd figure it out.
Or
Probably.
wait, have I done a dove? I think I actually did. I went and hunted a dove.
Oh.
And yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
That's
I guess that
intense.
counts.
And Mac again for $2 says, I made it to boot camp for Alone season 10. Oh, dang.
Hey, cool.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah, we need some training, sir. Dang, that's pretty cool. Thank you, Mac. All right.
I
that's
only
all of
want to
them.
train with champions, so I don't know.
Oh, wow. Okay. Matt, I'll train with you.
I'm just playing.
All right. That's it.
That's it, folks. Sorry for the shorter show. We'll be back with Garrett next week. And I'll be able to hopefully go over the live stream is like $100. And I don't know. I didn't do all the reading on the website. I don't know if it's just always available or if they'll eventually put it on their YouTube channel or not. There is no Graham, but there's definitely Jimmy, there's Ben, there's Hugh Newman and others. And it was a damn good conference. So I'm glad I went. And it's my second to last trip of the year. We got Wisconsin. Oh wait, no, that's not true. I'm going to LA Comic-Con now.
Yeah.
So third to last trip of the year.
Exciting.
Then I'm going to stay home for a little while.
Nice.
Got all this traveling out. Well, I was just talking to Mrs. Nerdrotic about this. I'm like, God dang, we've been traveling a lot. And she just pointed out that, yes, our youngest child turned 18. We can travel again. So
Wow.
that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. So, Chrissy, say goodbye to traveling for 18 years. Just congratulations on a little bambino.
Well, you could bring them with you,
You
It's a lot of
in theory.
prepping. It's a lot of prepping.
That's a
In
lot
theory.
of effing prep. In theory.
It's true.
We're
It's true.
prepping for even our vacation with Mark's family, and they have a relatively newborn, and they're like, "Can we use your suitcase space for diapers?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, sure. You gotta bring so much stuff to care for them."
Yeah. I feel like not the diaper phase. You got to get past the diaper phase and like fully potty trained. Then you could start traveling again.
Sure.
I'm not a parent
We'll
yet.
see. Yeah.
So I love the look on his face.
There's a reason my family
Yeah.
didn't travel when we were kids.
Cute.
We're too expensive.
It's adorable. Yeah, you can go on a little road trip to Arizona. That's possible. Yeah, London? No.
Right. Yeah. Good point.
All right. What do you got coming up, Adam?
Well, I filmed another hike today.
Oh.
It was a little overcast, and I kind of wanted to see what the forest looked like very different. It looks totally different when the sun's not shining. So look forward to another walk out in the forest. It's coming soon. I go into a different spot. Trying to do like a different spot every time I go out and just film it.
Your
and then
forest is amazing, by the way.
Oh, it's so nice. And then when it snows too, it looks incredible. Like my brother actually came in the summer and called this right when you go into my forest. He said, "This is Lord of the Rings Hill," or "This is Lord of the Rings." No, he called it Lord of the Rings Hill because it looks like where Boromir gets shot in arrows. And when they're that forest, it looks like they filmed it here. Like that's the vibe of this forest. It's pretty cool. So, yeah. And then so my daily show, the Crigler Show on Rumble and YouTube, you can find me over there. I go live Monday through Friday. Base Staff Monday with Garrett and the rest of the boys coming tomorrow. And then Georgia Giant Slayer joins me on Tuesday Titans, and then I hang out for the rest of the week just talking about news and stuff. Friday nights I go live jamming on my locals channel. Just do all my music over there. Side Scrollers is on Wednesdays over on Side Scrollers podcast. That's a lot of fun. And then, of course, here on Forbidden Frontier.
Yeah.
Cheers. What do you got coming up, X-Ray Girl?
Tomorrow, Doctor Who is a bit delayed. I know you guys were excited for us coming back, but Zia couldn't do the show this coming Monday, so it'll be next week. I have Shadowversity coming on Poor Choices, 8 p.m. Eastern, to talk on Dadcast. And then, so sub to Poor Choices in my channel. The Quarry, we're going to play more of that. I know you guys enjoyed that, scaring me and me being scared by the show / game. You know, good stuff. Apparently, I'm very jumpy at anything and everything.
No, that's good. Makes it very entertaining.
Exactly. So, yeah. And don't forget to submit any spooky ghost stories or anything similar to that to xraygirl2077@gmail.com. Please submit them. I'll probably say by Friday night, and I'll look through them on Saturday to choose a few to read on the next show.
Excellent.
Nice.
Sweet. I'm working on a video. Should finish it tonight. It's in the hands of Garrett. Probably be out Tuesday. He's probably working on it, trying to get it out by tomorrow morning. But Garrett, you have till Tuesday. You really do. Because I think it's about the strike. So I think the actors are going back on Tuesday to talk after an embarrassing week, a fucking embarrassing week. Their own actors tried to pay off the union so they can end the strike. And then they followed that embarrassment up by chastising George Clooney in a very nice way, talking to him like a child on an Instagram video, and then followed that up by putting out union rules that you can't dress up as Barbie if you're a union member or Mario or anything that's considered struck content.
Wait, that was real?
That's fucking
I
real.
thought that was a joke.
No,
because it's promotion. Silly.
Then they came out to try to walk it. Like we thought, hey, they're going to walk this back. And they wanted to clarify to Ryan Reynolds' tweet. They're like, your children can dress as Barbie, just not you.
Wow.
Or Ken or
that's
whatever.
Hilarious.
It was fucking retarded. So naturally, now they're going back to the table because they look like a bunch of idiots. So of course, I have to make a video on this. I'm like, oh my God, they're fucking morons. Yeah, they're the Film Actors Guild are idiots. I try to tone it down. I think I only say it 3 times in the video. We'll find out. We'll find out. The union owns you. Exactly. It's another boss. It's a dumb thing to have, especially in entertainment right now. Especially since they're screwed. They're totally screwed. And there's morons running around going, we totally won. Okay. All right. Sure. I'm also
reading.
Did
you have Chat GPT write that for you?
I know, right? You totally won until you get replaced by AI forever, which is inevitable. So I'm also reading a book called The Reign of the MCU, which is like the real history. Supposedly, they rely on a lot of sources, but I'm on I'm just getting to Black Panther right now. So so once I head into phase 4, it'll get interesting. But you learn a lot about like the politics of it, and that things like Kevin Feige, like, you know, people think he started the MCU. No, he was there, but he did not start it. It was not his idea at all. It was somebody else's idea named Maisel. So, but he takes a lot of credit for a lot of things. They haven't been super critical of him yet. They're really critical of like Perlmutter, overly critical, because that guy just wanted to make money. And but it's fascinating. So if I finish that book, which I think I will at this pace, by tomorrow, tomorrow morning, I get home, I think in the afternoon. Tomorrow night, I will do a live stream on it. I'll do a whole live stream talking about the whole thing because it's pretty funny. A lot of it just confirms a lot of what we said. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks to the Nerdrotics, keeping things in line around here. Chat, you don't need to be kept in line. You're beautiful. Thanks for everyone who left a super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.
God damn, Gary. Some serious gourmet. What flavor is this? That's right, it's the all-hell medium roast private blend. Check out the Geek Coffee Nerdrotic page for our other options like the Decadent, Feathers of Liberty, vanilla-infused flavored coffee. Or if you're looking for something darker, try the Dark Roast FNT blend of the Fellowship. You know what? Just buy all 3. GeekGrindCoffee.com. Use discount code Nerdrotic.
Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome, travelers, to the fringes of reality, where the strange and mysterious meet, and the thin veil between fact and fiction is torn. Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier.